Oh, the mouthpiece is on the ground. In that wide shot, he dropped his mouthpiece. Hey guys, welcome to Suspenders of Belief. I'm Heavy.
And I'm Treby.
And today we watched Rocky.
Yeah, it's a little movie, maybe you've heard of it. I don't know. It's called Rocky. Today we talked about Rocky, and Rocky is kind of an American classic, and I have to say that it really, really holds up, despite the fact that it's getting on up there in age.
And it's such a great little time capsule because so much of the energy feels so real and underdog.
There's so much of that experience that kind of bleeds through the narrative. It feels like somebody just, they have this opportunity to do something amazing, and they put forth so much of themselves and so much of their effort into it, and they're still not sure if it's even going to be worthwhile.
So we've been watching a bunch of sports ball movies in general, and the idea of like what's probably the most universally acclaimed, universally loved sports movie. And at the end of it, we kind of thought that Rocky kind of epitomizes everything about those types of movies. Usually you have the underdog story, you've got the relatable nobody who's, normally part of a team, but in the case of boxing, he pretty much is the team. It's all one person. And Rocky is such an inspirational movie because he is like a down on his luck character who does have this opportunity kind of thrust upon him. It's very relatable. You feel like watching the film, trying to piece together this person's life. And even while we were doing it, and we've seen this movie many times, I was still trying to take like little assumptions in character. Like, why are Rocky and Polly even friends? Like, they're very different personalities. If you notice in the backgrounds of both of their houses, Rocky has this army helmet and Polly seems to have this Navy photo. So it's like, oh, maybe they're both former service, or maybe they even met in the service. Maybe they were kids who enlisted, served a couple of years, and then came back home. So you're not told any of this explicitly. It's just kind of icing on the cake. But just little things like that I was, looking around. And in Rocky's apartment, I don't know who staged that, but it is horrifying. And when Adrian is in it for the first time, and she's like, I gotta bounce. If I was in this dude's apartment, I'd be a little nervous too. There's like a mattress pinned to a wall with a knife. Even when he walks in and hangs up his jacket, it's on a set of brass knuckles with a knife sticking out of it. The machete is on the wall. It is a very intimidating apartment. And so the fact that he doesn't even think to clean up a little bit before inviting the girl over, his couch has like beer bottles sticking out the backside of it. There's this like dirty newspaper on the seats. It's so horrifically trashy. And I think it's just supposed to capture like, yeah, this character doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to impress a girl. He doesn't know how to present himself in a wholesome sort of way. He's just completely honest. Hey, yo, this is me. This is my house. You like it? No, it stinks, but you like it. His
apartment is almost a character in of itself, that you can tell so much about the man just looking around there and living in it. And it's obviously he doesn't entertain very much. It's obviously that he's not that conscientious about those things, but it really comes through. So much of this movie is like performance and sets and things like that you have like the city of Philadelphia itself is kind of a character, and that there's a lot about it that kind of affects the tone about how like poor and run down everything is, especially in like the montage when he's running through the streets and you see the dolly track. A lot of it bleeds through, and you can see just how humble he is. Just the literal humble beginnings is where he starts in this movie. Those humble beginnings help amplify what he's able to do by the end of the movie.
His ambition is not to dethrone the title. He's not to become the best, not to beat him up in a fight. He just wants to do something that's never been done before. And nobody has ever lasted 15 rounds with the Apollo Creed. No one's ever done that. So that night before, when he's like, I don't even know if I can do this, is like, that's all I want though. I just want to be still standing there at the end of those 15 rounds just to show that I can do it, that I'm capable of it, that people have doubted me my whole life and not believed in me. Like, that's what I want. And he gets it. He does succeed in that. It almost to the point where at the end of the film, sometimes I watch this with people and be like, but wait, did he even win? That was like, did Apollo win? What just happened? It kind of froze, like did a freeze frame and did roll credits. Like, what kind of ending is that? It's like, you're missing the point. The point was not about the fight. The point, like, the fight is just distressing. Like whether or not he wins the fight does not matter at all. The point is that he proved that he could do it, that he proved he was worth something. And proving to yourself that, especially at moments of doubt, but proving to yourself that you are capable, that you do matter, that you can accomplish something, that in and of itself is pretty wonderful. And I think that's why this film resonates with so many people, even if you're not a fan of boxing.
One of the points I made when we were watching Varsity Blues, like, they don't have to win that football game at the end. I feel like they've already succeeded in their conflict of perspective and the conflict that they have with the coach. And this movie kind of embodies that idea that, like, look, he didn't have to actually win the fight. He wanted to go all 15 rounds, and he didn't even think that he could, but he persevered. And that's what the whole thing is about, is perseverance. And that's why it can resonate no matter who you are. You get it, you understand. The film is a visual medium, and like you can see what he's going through. You can see how tired they are at the end of the movie, and how like it takes everything they have just to keep going. And it's easy to make that connection. It's part of the reason I think it resonated so well, and also why they ended up making so many sequels. But yeah, it totally holds up. It's still fantastic. Hadn't watched it in a few years, and we watched it today, and it's awesome.
So with that being the conclusion of our sports ball month, what do you want to watch next?
Well, before we got majorly delayed, we were talking about trying to do a Batman month in preparation for the new Batman movie. So, yeah, I think that it might be time to tackle like one of our favorite subjects. So, like, I guess pick one of your favorite Batman movies, and we'll go next.
Oh, you know what? Let's watch Morbius.